Nimbula, nimbula. Pula Vinaka, Vinaka vale na sema mai. Klangko singa bakarau wai tiko may Viti. Na matay ni singa ni bulo Julai. Ni bula Vinaka. Sandiata patalimengkondo na bula po na bula duki-duki. Na nanda bula makau baka Viti. Nakabali besar bikim ni na rongoto mai na kadi malamulu monggo mini sema mai. Na vital no tokoni kuwa membalete tiko ndo na mati songo-songo. Na narato tiko na Fiji Book Drive. Na kena marami liu-liu sema sar tiko mai Melbourne, mai Australia. To siya matalchungan ko tolu na marama may Viti karto taka pati tiko kay Fiona na kena marami liu-liu en sino Vinaka ni ko. Vinaka bale na nomni siya mamay, nakabale na nomni do veitokonni tiko en programo sa total na bulo bongo en lebutal chukmen na bulangir na surit tiko mai na nonda programo Vinaka ngo programo ni veiwasei, programo ni vivaka elanganga taki. Kena soli bakasama na vuli na biba kongeti na be ulutaga so na suriti tiko mai na vula Vinaka na vula talangango na programo bo na tawata tiko kinango na nonra na may baktarong tiko ira na marama baktarong tiko na ulutaga ni ulu baka Viti na buininga baka Viti na kana ko maro takatiko no riri juga lebo na marama ni Viti siang wala nga ni marama ira talaga nang lewa era sa teko bumer seruto no lundra baka Viti au sana no mamendo na bula todo ko me bula todo ko ni kera maro takin na nonra do ulu tiko baka Viti o ira na nonta marama may Viti baka tangaki no ira na bese bura-bura ya me baka na kini baka raw na rongo matang ko na share me baka ni marama liu-liu ko Fiona ngandi kantaw rolisa to mikine ke Lavenia na rongo kina na share to mi kantaw na sige Vinaka ni ko me tek buta kana nonda sa Talanoa na share go na liwabi au na tokla Yes, nakapakalevu na certo tokoya, may buwan turang tawa pukukin na lao, and na langat tiko weekend na sere kaya na liwabiaw na tokalau. Iya ni kuwa, and na pakumpula sa ramanda verto na marama, erto sema sartingo tolu may Viti, do may Australia, and na pakumpula manda be Fiona pula Vinaka. Can you unmute, please, Kerker? Nice.
Bula Vinaka, Maramas, Tarangas, my colleagues from Fiji Book Drive, Vinaka vakalevu Teresi for having me on this wonderful program. Vula.
Vula Vinaka, and welcome back. It's been a while, and we look forward to hear your stories of adventure that you just took part in a few weeks ago.
Vinaka, I can't wait to share them.
Vinaka valeu Sara Fiona. So now we'll say Bula to Lavenia, Bula la.
Bula Vinaka Dapati, Bula Vinaka na varrog kumain na Bula Vinaka ungo, Bula Vinaka vicini o libito kun sikwana mito na vicini nito chartingo. Oh, terang orang bilang konggo mau bambula kena bikin dan kebenakan kuah.
Nak balik besar lah, nak balik benar saya mati kumain na nanti tu Talanoa. Naka, antara bambula besar be api, bula api. Rangannya unmute dengan nukleau.
Fiona estamos aquí en la
Oh, Vinaka valeu api. Siang ni rongo Vinaka menan to momu, rai monro na sema bata keila, ga imbita chunga mit tak chunga no telefon on tak chunga no camera, yan robital no nga mena telefon nila. Yeah? Okay. Naka valeu darabam bula saranggo be Marie, bula Vinaka Nauluwai Maori Marie.
Bula Nauluwai Pene, bula Vinaka Dr. T and Fiona, Lavenia, Api and everyone.
Yes, Vinaka valeu Sarah Marie, thank you for joining us today. So today is a very special day where we're going to be hearing some of your stories and updates from Fiji. So we'll start first with Fiona, and then I will go straight to Lavenia and Api in Nandi, because I know they have a very tight schedule. And then Marie and Fiona and I will continue the conversation while Api and La will continue back on their program for the day. So Fiona, if you can just maybe quickly share with our listeners, because some may have heard of Fiji Book Drive for the very first time. So maybe share a little bit about this wonderful initiative to our listeners. Vinaka Fiona.
Vinaka Teresi. Well, Fiji Book Drive has been going for 12 and a half years, and we started in Kendavu when I realised there was a real need for quality library books in schools. Most schools had some library books, but never enough, and often in very poor quality. So that's the briefest possible version of how Fiji Book Drive started. We've sent 240,000 books to Fiji so far. So we think we are the biggest, we're second to Fiji Library Service in terms of sending curated library collections. We've helped Kendavu, Thivia, schools in Nasauvere, schools in Ra, schools in vanua, are about to help Tavayuni. Lavenia can talk more to specifics as to where we've helped, but we are getting to really, really remote schools, incredibly remote schools. We're passionate about our work because we believe it's nation building, building a generation of literate Fijians. And it's not that Fijians weren't literate, but you know, most Fijians do not have access to enough quality library books. So we don't just send the books, we back it up with the Talanoa session once they've got the books, talking about what sort of books they want more, maybe making suggestions. The teachers open the library at 7 a.m. And they don't just do the DEAR program, which is drop everything and read, but that they do that in addition to other things, putting cushions in the library. We encourage them to let the children take the books home more. Often in remote regions, they don't want them to take them home because they have to cross rivers. So they're worried about the library books getting damaged, but we encourage them to let the children take the books home because really the children need access to books as much as possible. I want reading for Fijian students to be like eating food. We can eat food at any time, any place. It's natural for us. Reading should be the same.
Wow, man, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Fiona, for this wonderful initiative. As I said before, you came up with a dream and you make it happen. And that's one thing that we really admire about you. It's not just thinking about something or imagining something to be done, but making it happen. And we've seen it year in, year out on how you've blessed through your amazing team, bless so many schools, so many families, and so many children. And I know we're going to watch some really cool videos in the next half an hour or so. So for those of you who are watching, please stay on because we're going to see some wonderful stories and videos and photos from the province of Netasiri that our team visited in the last couple of weeks. So we'll go straight now to Lavenia and Api, and then we'll go to Marie. Lavenia, if you can just share with us very quickly, what motivated you to be part of this program? Na baunge tikemu la mamay baitabe na Fiji Book Drive.
Vinaka Dr. T. Au babin Vinaka tikena sina Vinaka ngilavo. Sana bos kundangana bakandavo.
Don Vinaka.
Babin Vinaka tikena na Fiji Book Drive. Bakangani kito sa karuani nito may interview ka. Au kilani ni sama tata chikove sovi ke mueva rongo chumena sina Vinaka ngilavo na nito bakani musa ingat chukona page bana nito Instagram na nito tiki babin Vinaka tikena na Fiji Book Drive. Na buku ni nongu sema tiki mena rona undolu chin kava tiki mena nongu sema mais vatike Fiona Luth kero ta ngaza na toso ni certica e vaunge chiao baleta ni ngaza na vibuke e vaidora na vikornivuli ngaza ni yang sarvalevu ke yang valevu irnangone na buku ni wilivola. Yang talanga valevu irna Qasenivuli kaki na veira na tubutubu na uya talot kina manta na nito ngole na ke kawan ina na loma ni vanua menetasir au sarava na nongu matay ngo na usove na kornivuli ngole ulei ba vade nguchko nambor kawan kula au mani toso sara ina kurukuru bakatini au tekuna nangono au durun na nodra to library au ngaza na tiki science nga tabo na nodra to bookshop lulu na longo au ngaza lesu na bikornivuli to visu kemeke re ni nodra library batake na nodra sabang tekena ngone na lulu na longo ni ngaza na nodra to library au mani vitalo batake ndona Qasenivuli au taroni ali kona singa de o Qasenivuli dio ko samantarna era vuli ko vakia na ngone ni ali ko vakana library book tanga no ni morto sanga sasanga ki ko kuna kintora ni dona vitartar verto na City Library Service deran recto bat kito ya was kusaro sanga misto vika Pero ni lak matangan balik kendaraan pemebang sekina tunangon ni. Tambah kesarangan na sisisain siapa waktu ko batikina book nodra book sales nilala tu au baku service Fiona. Fiona. Au lulu kesarangan nyuzur main aloman ni Qasenivuli kan aloman lagi. Na nungkung ngada au may bantin tintakina na leng ka tu na sona aloman di vanua. Na vi Qasenivuli at aloman di vanua. Au ba Vinaka tikina Fiji Book Drive. Mina ni wasea na Qasenivuli ingada no na lenga ngada batuto bata na vi Qasenivuli. Ito ndo bandin di tekina sarana na Qasenivuli na lomo di vanua batakina dia niya. Sangge kerei to Talanoa to merto fil tekina na form ke o ko tasayani batakina taman to fil tekina o kerei to nangono sana kelkena container itu bawa kerjaan itu toleran meletika au ba mazala tekina Nasauvere to na yar kor kita ndongan dreva na Fiji Book Drive kita nangan dreva na vola ni saya ni lo mani Qasenivuli lo mani vuli del talibina kati ni ngai na kati ni na kacaranga me antek na rasawang tekina na ngoni kota kita na yal nindu tangama na ni to Facebook kita veiwale kita na follow up tekina mai ni kita ngaga na kena savanga takiko watakena na nodra bang tekina panangone bakia na toso na kena bang tekina library edua na bisau kita na Vinaka na kita mai kila kede o mani kita ules kala kanito ngole na tasiri au ba Vinaka Marie Pene na nona tungkiana na nito na nona kerkere au mani bukekia au tarong mari o kilamnya na nito organization kan guys kuno kiau kerei vola and veitokonni au va vida kita ni eso na yalo ni Qasenivuli erotiko era tokona na nito bibuke era ngandreva era dua batu kikito na nodra sungi taraiza kena ngone na wilivola au va Vinaka Marie keto salamuria na nona tubutubu Marie veivale na loman koro mai Nauluwai na tasiri au va Vinaka Marie batir talanga na leo ni koro mai tasiri keto era barong kita na ngona Vinaka au va Vinaka na buku ni tongkarazi na tu chiko ya voki na tasiri na vula akor au kilani iya na buni nongku Nandreva ne uchungai na Fiji Book Drive ke sarana kena na nodra taraizake patakena ninga na Fiji Book Drive sa tosu Vinaka mai bana lima ngana Qasenivuli kirmatik buke nelva bana ngona ka kirta skoya ni na visang vula Qasenivuli na dona embaki pero sada kava chiko kena dia buni nongku au yalni sanangona ndo ya lelai au sa veitona numira nangwa ni Viti au kila ena el talmintua ke nangado Fiona ndot kuna talangado Fiona au na el talclau nangado indua me bakoiko nyo iko sana sakila Vinaka na mono iko na sada lakadaka we na zakiau para nyo kila Vinaka na vika vaidori kitongangandi penke kitona chen kai nyalba Okla na bunga ni nongku ngandreva me mani chikondenga na Fiji Book Drive balesana nodra ke kataraiza ke na ngoni Viti onto bari kina ver na tumbu kaka mutoko ni kito na kana ngandreva me soli ver na ngone na wilivola na Nasauvere na luweke mo na liza ka Vinaka na liza ka ba matentu ke te muteki butakina na solia vale ver na vola me wilivola kita ya lebih bukan kita bingkar gua ngapa na primary school dan secondary kita tiki busar ngame veira na kindergarten paleta kita kila ni tiki bu Vinaka Marie na lila kona primary school sana automatic ngaveira na rasana ngandre bangana wilivola me va ali a buscar de ban secondary Vinaka dokter kila ni rerai Saya kira kangen reusia bari tekina ketalento na kai kubia taronga dari yang teknade o biar bamanal kena balik lekana
Nah, kuna balik besar la pabi beraki be ngusi ke michi kuna barong cukayatu en si mate bini lebu bikin ani tumbutumu nabi kurni vuli mutsa ngole korake pabi ni benak sarval lebu balet bani mini to cukai michi menu tekino Fiona ena mini ban tukana keni bulimbuli ena kena nina tangada cikuna na rere binaka ni na mutu taka bat kinga na mero pabi ni benak saratu kebi kemu la na nomu yalo binaka nomu yalo boso chico berarti min ceta kata rau mo chico mi bici ke chico mi bala ngo Fiona mi muru gai sianga chico na kata ni kena bako itu ni bol sambo ceo ngali ya pabi ni binak sara ke bali ke mula ya dorna tereng maramana taman de lebu chico na tu ke chico maramana api roni kambi mai babola ke bela me daronga teman na domo muni to sumi bangko me to bantak ngana telepon ini la naka valevu la ai api kero ni pambatal tiki muni manda na muni koro na bunu ni dabu tumikin
Nimbula Vinaka. Nadango atia nimbulo. Maramin toni pula. Na visto nomboro na puro may mutasi. Salita ka na pintak may na Fiji Book Drive. Na niro di Talanoa nga kela na bueno nila kavaka na vamos a chico veao ni na ngol la chico ni tasir o mani sudah sabik na nunggu ngangan de nunggu inte o kabi kwa oga tokoni kimrao yo nunggu vuli mai o vuli tordake yo ando interest tu na wilivola wala kawala na library na city council kena nanti town council library do sakit tu na along kuna wilivola yo gomno na sakata Fiji Book Drive kena CEO Fiona na alani dibantu nui na nunggu kana nunggu ngangan la ni nondro na ngol dakti kene tasir o mani ni ngol tu wata kirau au li experience ta katarunga na andre kena ngandre bini vola bambin na nitu lo mani asana na bono ne tasir na kena kuribuli maira na kena dolo o talitaka o wapngataka o wanjan dan amin au wakanjen taka mi sona koribuli pambin binanungu koribuli na tu koro namboro sa Nicola Primary School ya dola nambaki runun dulu pasa na kena dola kena koribuli asiang kalso na kena vola kemay mga nasi kan ni zakavaka kemay gendo sa kemay ni song panaro kemay wa kola takit na koribuli yo wag na Vinaka ni sa mamay na Fiji Book Drive na to siko maramanita bataki Fiona na kena televi kena wa torvekta kena bulan ni viva karamta kena wilivola oroni kana kami kwa tau ko dulu butal ngana longu na nongwali ban jinjin ta kamene singa na kena rei tau ko sini bakana kena iliu na nongwa se ali sara na kena dolan library mai number family na do mai na nongwa la kubutu kamene singa oroni ri kani bawa minga sekina na alo ni buke na alo ni kawai ena mateti mi Vinaka ngona Fiji Book Drive ena kena buke na non rava rava mateti na vulika pambindi ena waswavala ngir na nonda ena lamanya sana ni tasir o bandin din sa kana ni tuango le na kukurba ketini na bono ka wasa diko maramanita ko na kena to na telefono kina sabi kina na baktawasi ni siya sa tunga kina kena vola wala sa tunga kina Fiji time ay wak na Vinaka Vinaka kana na yalo lo masoli kina yalo ni bebuke kena matetino go na kena tangay sipo na kena buke kena nonra wilivola na ngonitoke kena waswak tertanya na menyasana ni tasir lulubu tariau na longo balateni urinika ya unindo na ngone au boleh kambula kena bona ni tasir o na tekina na vai kino Fiona porque kena mate ni Fiji Book Drive kena kena buke wilivola kena bona ni tasir maira kina zolo Vinaka
Vinaka balik besar api na namo biba kaunggeti nio marami ni tasiri ando man namo bos ni biba kaunggeti bira na biba kani ni tasiri rapa karong tiku meni kuah kira talanga na saraba na interview mai muri se daba mera dakaba mera bibu ke mai na Fiji Book Drive ena kena baka ibola tak na library mai ni tasiri
Ita ni mbula Vinaka vi kenda na nonda mena lamanya sana tasiri ni mbula maleka o waka naknaka na kena surti kona ngauna me wamakau te ukina wamata kana makatimi ni Fiji Book Drive ena narto vayu tiko ena kena televisiku ena lamani sana na tasiri na kena biutiko veiwala tiki ni library veiwala ni wilivola irana nonda ena lamani sana o viva undi tena weekenda kento na mongona ngalala mun nando nda baca kilu vemo ndambe baca kira na bisinga nan ratumberi nan rabuki na wilivola belta mai muri erna ka kilaki na kena Vinaka erna tarakin na kena waktangen ngende torvaki erna nonra na ndo hungiana va sulenan rangona ena wilivola ambimbi na nonra vola Vinaka nonra essay writing nonra letter writing tanongona erarani au kompeta kana revirna ne vuli na bula tahun ni paket na bula mana koro o irna bula na tahun ni tanongona era vola tunga alam ni ruang na sentence solo revirna cuma koro sa toso sa cuma na nonra vola Kala tango na nira sa va unge tisuko na wilivola ken karua na telefoni ke waka merna vale le teki wirna nonda na selivir na telefoni vale uteki na nonra wilivola ena buke kina na nonra mbula nonra wasta kana waswa tertanya weekend na lomani wono na tasir Vinaka
Vinaka balik besar api Babini nakabali na nomu tokoni biro labat ke Fiona ena nomu tomani rautu na nono tongol batene tasir nakabali besar ona tarongi la talemanda me doanga nona bosangan bi baungeti nimbera ninro sana ngoleani au sana ngai ngoleani be Marie bat ke Fiona nakabali api la kera ni donga mena mopasangan bi baungeti bikenda na tumbu na sana ni tasiri na bukungan ni nomutu mala kodake donga no mopasangan di babi ni Vinaka na non rabi kau itek bikimto nomutu machi kumedaki
Vinaka Dr. T au untuk ngana nongku via babi ni Vinaka na buku nito angole dakani ni tasiri bikimdina leo ni vanua mai na tasiri nina turanga maramanita via toranga na Vinaka ngomo babi Vinaka taka na buku ni vakalevu babi ndire kimdona leo ni koro mai Nauluwai na tasiri na nomudou kito ba koro na neto ba sol taki kito tebuna neto indamdambe kito babi na Vinaka Ve kimdo na nomudou solia nomudou ngona. Patikira nomudou soli na neto mai neto karabi na kabini singa ya. Wabini Vinaka taka na wukuni tubutubu ni koro nto na transport na linia busa. Au wabini Vinaka talanga ve kimdo na leni Qasenivuli na Qasenivuli na mboro kawan pula. Kakina ve kimdo na Qasenivuli kito siko ya nikina. Kito vanga taki, kito wasinga lewu taki, kito vaya kavi taki, kito vaya kavi na mboro kawan pula. Kito bangun taki, kito sa autor na ngona Vinaka ngo ve kimdi na Qasenivuli. Nasauvere primary school. Au wabini Vinaka na vukuni venga ravlevo ni baka zora kito wasenga ni namaka. Kito sa sendar kito ngole ala ngana nonggu di Talanoa kirto ng Qasenivuli o barita ka virto kuni lang kataki na kito kakan kito ngandre basar nga valde bunaka kana na ro na kito le kanya na kimni kakana na manay pasir ka kuni lang kataki na kito kana pais kana kakana Vinaka nga kito ngandre nga na ro nandron kau kito ngandre ko ngani kanya visinga kito ngandre talanga kito na. Oh, wabini Vinaka ve kimni kersara na len vanua na buku ni kiana len garazi patikir to na komite na mboro kawan skula na kiana soli na ose lei devo kiana pabondo kikina o Fiona mengole za kiana Nasauvere lei listal mai au sa wabini Vinaka saranga vale ve kimni keda na ngona me kito na listal ani kito sa kerei me kito na zingomi kito na senga ni ulevava baki maingo kito na ngandreva me kito na yang baki ngo kito na talava tale tale na nomudou vola ni wilivola verto na nomuningoni mai chiko wabini Vinaka chika na singa Vinaka ni kua savaya na kiana levo.
Sa mundo Vinaka bale besar la Vinaka bale bu api na murmei veitokonni juga na Fiji Book Drive babi Vinaka be Fiona na nona veitokonni be kemruka saba sabuital chunga na itu tuku benrana be korubul to doko musa da buta chiko kena na tubutubu na buku ni na mutuling karabi na itabile bu mutu chila Vinaka bale besar la Nakabalik sa api, paninu Vinaka to talangon untuk bibi notal.
Vinaka valevo.
Naka murma toka. Iya. Naka. Isa. Vinaka vale bikim ni na barong tiku mai. Oya Lavenia tomani. Tiku talangango nanoni toka ni maramanay tao api. Ero taka pati tiko kela may nandi ngandra ko kami veitokonni talaga kena kau na Qasenivuli sana bakturangon ay tasir ya mitana ko bola talaga go Marie Roni was Marie if you can share what was the motivation and what connection you have with the Fiji Book Drive, Marie.
Thank you, and once again Bula Vinaka. One of my areas of passion is actually working for children in community. And I've always, wherever I went to teach or work, I've always had the community at heart, particularly with children. And one of the areas that I found was lacking in most of in most of these subjects and all that kind of thing was English. And I've noticed that when I was in Rakiraki, teaching 2 schools in Rakiraki, and then again here in Fiji, and then here where I'm staying, and in the school that I teach, literacy is a big problem. It's a problem. It's not that the children are dumb or they do not know. It's just because they do not know how to read. Very simple English, and it's trying to build confidence in themselves and all that. So I thought maybe having a library in a village setting like where I live will be a good idea, because in schools there's a lot of rules there and time is short, there's no avenue whereby you get children to sort of like appreciate the book. You know, they just go in there and they sit and then they read, and after that they go back again, because there's lots of subjects for children to cover. So what I used to do in the past years, I used to ask my friends, hey, you have any, you know, books lying around that is not being used? It doesn't really matter whether it's a new book or an old book or used. You know, I'd really like to get hold of them. And then being a product at FNU, I used to create my own big books.
Oh,
That's what I used to do. And I used to sit, and anyone that comes home, no, it doesn't really matter if I'm in the kitchen or something, and if they need help, I would help them. But that passion inside me to sort of set up a community library was still there, you know, burning inside me. So that's when I kind of, I'm trying to recall, when did I just sounded it out to you, if you knew anyone who, you know, who's involved with books where they're able to do. So it was you who actually told me about these Fiji Book Drive.
Fiji Book Drive.
And then gave me the names. And I think I did, you mentioned Fiona's name, and I think I did send message to her. And then afterwards, then to Lavenia. And then through Lavenia, I started mentioning about, you know, I'm interested in setting up a library and I'd like to have some books. It doesn't matter whether it's new, as long as they are books that are readable for the children. Wow. And again, like when I was at FANS Fiji, the Foundation for the Education of Children in Fiji, my task was actually to be to create programs for the after-school readers, and the places where we used to go and read. This was actually like, you know, the poor squatter areas in main Suva. So one of them was in Nomudou in Watuanga. And that's where, you know, I saw that, no, there is a need for literacy. There's very important. There's a need for reading. There's a need for community library. And so that's how the conversations just all of a sudden, you know, opened up to me getting the books from Fiji Book Drive. And initiative, the main thing for me was, first of all, to give children, to create a passion in them where they'll appreciate the love of books. Because, you know, we all know that phones have taken over, and now children don't normally know. Yeah, like in terms of research, they just go to Google and YouTube for their research and all that. But our storybooks, they have a lot more to offer. And secondly, to learn to respect books, because I've seen with my own eyes in school libraries, whereby children just take books and they just, you know, throw it on the shelf, you know, just like that. It's not that they aren't aware of what they're doing, but it's just that it's not really in them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's sort of like a time just to pass by, hurry up and go. So and I know that Fiji Book Drive has supported a lot of the schools. Even the school where I'm teaching actually, Kavunindao Sanatan, they too have actually supplied books there. So in actual fact, this is like the first community library here in this village. And I was telling the children around here, and I was telling some of the villagers that I want to set a benchmark here. You know, that we'll have some good passes in their exams for secondary, and, you know, whichever primaries, Rara district, whichever primary school the children here attend, that we'll see. And, you know, to be honest, to date, I've had positive feedbacks from the children themselves, from the teachers who teach in the main district school here, and also one positive result. Has actually positive result. And yesterday, I'd like to mention that a student from Rana district, her name is Viva, she's in class 8. She came with me when the start of this book drive, when we just started the community library. She said, you know, would you be able to help me? I always fail my English paper. Every time I sit for English, I always fail. And my area of weakness is my story and my letter. So she used to come. She's one of my consistent readers here who uses the library a lot. And yesterday she came back to me, term 1, she had 47, as she mentioned to me. And she came back to me yesterday and she said, hey, guess what? I scored 72 out of 100 in my English paper. Yes. Yeah, I was like, yes, sir, praise the Lord. I thank, they say, yes, sir, praise the Lord. And I said, thank you, Vivi, for coming to let me know, inform me. And she said, you know, for letter, I had 10 out of 10. For my composition, I had 12 out of 15. Yeah. So I said, there was another person with me there in the kitchen. I said, you know, this is a success story. Because I'm not really looking at the quantity. That's what I said. I'm not really after the quantity. I'm after the quality. So the fact that 1 out of 20 came back and said that, you know, this is what she had and all that, you know, that to me is a plus. And I could see, you know, on her face, you know, that determination. And then I said, oh, see, I said, now I have just opened up a door for this little girl in class 8. Yeah, and I know that, yeah, I like that's determination of its own, eh?
Yeah, and you never know, that girl may become a doctor or a teacher or politician in the future. It's a seeds that you guys are all collectively planting, and that is amazing. Right. Wow, Marie, that's awesome.
And I also would like to thank the book drive, Fiona and her team, because if it wasn't for them, I don't think this project would have succeeded. So, you know, I also thank them for their work, you know, to come as volunteers to sacrifice, because I understand I once was a volunteer worker, and to sacrifice that much and to see what's happening. You know, I'm very happy. I'm blessed, and I thank the team too, Fiona and them. And for her to come, Fiona, to come all the way from Melbourne and to come with her team up to here, to Nauluwai. You know, indeed, we are blessed. And at the same time, it sort of affirms the work of this project, the aim of this project. It's affirming the project. That's what it's actually doing. So, you know, thank you also to you, Dr. T, for linking me to them. And thank you to Fiona and her team, and for the lovely stories that I have, you know, that we have here, the storybooks, and now we have the community behind this project. And thank you.
I've got a picture of Fiona here sitting on this horse. And I know this was one of the mode of transport. I think Kala referred to this horse. So can you share a little bit, Marie, with your work up there in Tasiri, and just looking at Fiona here with this mode of transportation that was prepared for her?
I have to honestly say that even me too, I was like, I have not been as far as Fiona and them have gone in terms of their distribution of books, because Tasiri is such a big place, and in geographical terms, we are, even though we come under one place, but they're quite far. And, you know, I take my hat off to Fiona, you know, like she's European, and then, you know, to come all the way, to sacrifice that much time to come all the way to Fiji and to go right into the remote places, you know, with the main aim to introduce the love for literacy. I think that's very, 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 I don't know.
Inspiring,
yes,
very
it
inspiring.
Is. Definitely very inspiring.
Yes. Vinaka vakalevu Marie, for your beautiful words, and I'm so glad that social media has allowed all of us to connect. I remember you inboxed me one time, and we were talking about, you know, how you really wanted help, and I'm just so glad that we can be able to bridge everybody, and look, it all happened up there. Yeah. Yes, Vinaka Vale Marie. And Marie, you are a school teacher up in Natasiri?
Yes, I'm a kindergarten teacher. This is my 10th year teaching kindergarten, but this is my 5th year up here in Natasiri, teaching at Wunindawa Sanatan Primary School. It's an Indian school because way back in the past, I believe Natasiri was heavily populated with Indians because it's a farming, dairy farming, But the school still exists today.
Oh, and the name is still there, Wunindawa Sanatan, eh?
Yes.
Yes, Vinaka Vale Sar Marie, for your vision and, just for you to make that contact and look what has happened there also. So Vinaka Vale Marie will go straight to Fiona, just so we can hear from her on, how it happened. So now we've spoken to La and Api, and Marie has mentioned her vision. Fiona, how did it all work out for you for Natasiri?
Well, can you hear me, Dr. T?
Yes.
So I have to say, I mean, as you know, I've been traveling around Fiji for nearly 13 years now. And this trip to Natasiri was almost certainly one of the best. And that's for a couple of reasons. The first reason is what Marie is doing with this informal book club. It's just gobsmackingly good. And yeah, I mean, what she's doing is tremendous because she's right. There are a lot of rules surrounding library books. So this informal book club, I believe, working together with the library and the support of the community, truly, Dr. T and all your listeners, I believe it is nation building. And I've reflected back on this trip a lot. So the trip finished 2 weeks ago. I flew back to Australia 2 weeks ago. And some of those girls in particular, I strongly will believe will be political leaders in this country. I believe they will be business leaders in Fiji. Particularly the teenagers, they were remarkable. And some of them, and I really want your listeners to remember this, some of them were better readers than Australian children. I'm not joking. Now, that blows my mind. Natasiri dialect is their first language, then Bowen, then English. They're not going to have grown up with many, if any, books in the home, apart from maybe the Bible. The schools, as we know, are not well-resourced and there are no public libraries. But because the Nauluwai village itself, from what I could see, and it's only a brief visit, was very well organised with a good sense of discipline. And I believe a lot of that came from the community and the Taranga Nikoro. There were quite a few instances where I could see that this community is together, works together. It's not like half the workers were away working in tourism. And I actually believe the remote location is to their advantage. Once they have the books, I believe the lack of access to devices and so on is massively to their advantage if the community supports them. And I think, often in Fiji, people always refer to the urban children and they think they're so much more advantaged. I don't think so, actually. I actually think the children, as long as they come from a good home in a remote part of Fiji, yes, they need access to books. And the community support, I think a lot of future leaders from Fiji will be coming from the remote areas, actually. And we know a lot of greatness already comes from remote areas in Fiji. I mean, Susanna Yelik-Nether, who you know from Thithia, her daughter's a pilot for Air New Guinea, and she grew up in Thithia. I mean, we know that great leaders come from remote parts of Fiji, and I believe we will see this more and more in the future. So that was a real highlight for me, staying in Nauluwai village, incredible welcome, the incredible appreciation, but also the support and what Marie has done, her vision, because it takes someone in the community to take what we're doing to the next level. I can't be in Fiji all the time. I live in Australia. But if people in the community really take that initiative, that makes a big difference. And mostly we don't give to community libraries because I need to know the donations will be used properly. So I know after this I'm going to get message, please help my village, help my library. And I'll just say we're all booked up for the moment. Sorry, guys. But so that was amazing. And then when I went up to, you'll have to help me with my pronunciation here, Teresi, Nasauvere. Is that how you pronounce it? Nasauvere?
Oh, Nasauvere. Yeah, Nasauvere.
Yes. So remote that the women from the closest village hadn't been there, and the men only go once a year. So I had to walk up a track that, and a bulldozer capsized down that track. Very, very steep, muddy track. Me and Lavenia's son, who's 27, and a local guide, so a very strong Natasiri guy, and walking up this track, and I was blowing like a horse. I was like really hard work, then down the track, then crossed the Wainimala River. I'm not sure how many times, many, many times to get to that village, that there's no path or anything like that. You just have to cross the river. And when I got to that village, even I was blown away that all the Fiji Book Drive donated books, the closest point, which I think is Suwanikula, so they were taken out of cartons, put in garbage bags, put in sacks, and they go by horse. The horse crosses the river by itself without a rider. So the horse crosses the river, I think it's 26 or 30 times. And that is how the books got to the village. They went by horse. So even in Fiji, that is an extraordinary story. And that's the village we got to. And then another thing blew me away about that village is all the villagers pitched together for 3 days. They got the corrugated and the nails from Suva, and they built that library for the library books, which I just thought was totally wonderful. And it showed how people in a remote place really come together. And then that photo you've got on the screen now, you see me of the horse. So luckily I know how to ride a horse without reins and stirrups. And actually that's me with my bathing cap, because that's a photo I put in my swimming groups. So that I rode that horse back, and it wasn't that comfortable. So the horse just crossed the river on the way back, which was just totally amazing. And then the next school we visited, Nakuru Vakatini. That school was established in 1975, and the head teacher said to me they had never had library books in the history of the school. Never, till we got there. And also the school, Nasauvere school, they also, that was built in 2016, had never had library books. And there are quite a few schools in Natasiri where that's the case. So we really try very hard to get to remote areas. We do, like, it's physically taxing for me. I always get a little bit sick. I'm often quite sleep deprived. But, yeah, this trip was completely amazing. It was wonderful. I mean, to be honest, Dr. T, you know, if we get more and more money in the bank account, we can, you know, at the moment we send 50,000 books a year. We can send 100,000 books. That means we can help about 10,000 children a year. The more we get help from inside Fiji, so money from big business inside Fiji, and from Fijians living overseas, the more we can help the children. And I really believe that what we are doing is nation building. Like, a lot of these schools, no one else is getting to them.
Yes. Wow, that's just amazing. Thank you so much. And I've got a lot of people connecting in, so it's really good that we're using this platform to inform our people. And as Api was saying, you know, she's encouraging even those from Natasiri to work together, band together. And we really thank people like Marie, teachers like Marie, who have the heart for the community, for the students, and to reach out to my program, but also more so to you, that we're able to get the books over there. Wow, that's just amazing. So how many days did you spend up there, Fiona, up in Natasiri?
So we left Suva Monday morning and we came back Thursday morning. So I guess you'd sort of say 4 days.
4 days.
I mean, we are working hard. It's a pretty quick trip, but I also had a meeting with a big two companies called Icon in Reeves in Lami, because we wanted to start a partnership with them and get their workers engaged with what they're doing. They've got 100 employees fixing up the army base in Lami. Yeah. So they're going to help us out with logistics, which we're extremely happy about.
Nice.
So I had that meeting. I had that meeting with them on Friday, which was great. So it was just, I mean, for me, Teresi, as you probably know, I still don't take a wage. I would like to take a wage, but seeing these children read the books, seeing the beautiful quality of books, like, I don't know if Api said to you, but when she saw Sawanikula Primary School, the quality of the library books, like, she felt emotional. Yeah, so it's emotional for us. Like, if my time on, no one knows when their time on this earth will end, but I hope that my time on this earth is long and I'm fit and healthy so I can do this work for a long time, because I do actually think there's a tremendous opportunity. This is how, our motto is readers are leaders, and I fully can already see a lot of leaders will be coming out of remote parts of Fiji. And I don't often in remote parts of Fiji, I hear people say, oh, but we don't have internet. We don't have this, we don't have that. Yes, but you have the determination. And if you have the determination and the library books, I think strong leaders, that they're coming. Just wait.
Yes. Dear Nasarangan, I truly believe in that. And it's just wonderful. I mean, technology is good, but I think, as Marie has mentioned, even La was also mentioning, the books itself, if we can encourage children to respect the books and hold on to books and, keep them like it's their friend, yeah? They can only know how to deal with books if they are exposed to books. What do you think about that, Fiona?
Dinasara.
Yeah. Yes, man, this is so encouraging. I have the comments here from Mr. Choni Naivalu, acknowledging the work you do. He's commenting here, awesome work, Vinaka vakalevu. So our Talanoa today, you never know, Marie and Fiona, La and Api, it might inspire, some of our fellow Fijians who are listening in, even Fijians in Fiji. This can mobilize a lot of our teachers or graduates. Those with books in the home can start, working together, maybe contact Marie or La and Api, but also those of us overseas to contact Fiona, because she's always calling out for assistance, and especially financial assistance, because it does take a lot of money to pack the books and put them in the container and bring them to Fiji. Is that right, Fiona?
Yes, it does cost a lot of money. It's about 20,000 Australian, and that doesn't include paying Williams and Gosling. Of course, we have to pay Lavenia and anyone else that works with her. So it's a lot of money, but it's actually cheap when you work it out per child or per the library books. It's and because we have free warehousing here in Australia, which I'm not sure how long that will last for or not, but I'd very much like to do 2 shipments a year, so 100,000 books a year for Fiji, but we would need, 3 times the amount of money in the bank account. And we'd also love any Viti in Melbourne listening. We would love you to come and volunteer to help and sort and pack books. We had a lady from Pacific Harbour who was out staying with her niece, and she came and packed books and she couldn't believe it.
Wow, that's amazing. So many volunteers. Yeah, there's so many of us, who volunteered in the past. And I think it's a unique trait, to have the heart, to help others. And we just want to say Vinaka to you, Fiona, for the dream you started in Kandavu. And look, you've impacted so many schools around Fiji.
Vinaka. Well, it's 194 now. Wow. So it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, but I want it to be more. I want to help more schools.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I think, you know, the way you're going, look, Api has joined the forces now in terms of joining the team. Marie, if we can multiply lots of teachers like Marie, you know, to have the vision and the heart to start creating book clubs in communities, I think it'll spread, you know, it'll spread. And I'm sure if we can get a sponsor to help with the freight, perhaps we can approach William and Gosling's or Matson or another company who may be listening to our show. Maybe some of you are friends with the CEO of a freight company that can cover the cost, so you don't have to worry about the cost. They just worry about the salary or the wages that we give to the people on the ground. That would be a huge help, Fiona. What do you think?
I think any financial donation is a huge help, and I mean, I think, you know, moving forward, we'll have to pay for warehousing.
Yes.
But then we'll be able to double our output. So I think, you know, financial donations are extremely useful. But I also think we want to partner more with businesses in Fiji.
Right.
Because, you know, one thing I learned on this trip, one thing I thought is, because when I arrived on Saturday night, there was a big ball at the Grand Pacific Hotel, and they raised 105,000 Fiji dollars for the women's and babies maternity unit at the hospital. So that shows to me the money is in Fiji. There is big business in Fiji. There are wealthy people in Fiji. Now, I'm sure everyone's asking them for money because that's what happens when you're wealthy, but I'd very much like the support and financial assistance and assistance with government and whatever from big business owners in Fiji. The more we tossa vata, you know, we're very much tossa vata with the teachers and the villagers and the school children, but we need to tossa vata at a higher level as well. The more we sort of have influence and, you know, we're known about. I mean, one thing I've been thinking, Teresi, really on this trip, it's ripe for a documentary on whether it's ABC or FBC. I mean, it's pretty funny, really, when you think about it. One Kevalangi Marama, who's nearly 50, walking up this steep muddy track to this remote village, you know, riding the horse without stirrups and reins, just, you know, checking on the library books. You know, the scenery in Natasiri itself is just Vinaka. It's extraordinary scenery. The people are extraordinary. The people are just so extraordinary. And, you know, I think there's definitely, you know, a story in it. It's visually appealing, but I think also, and it's not just me, by the way, Teresi, but the passion of our team for the work that we're doing is, yeah, it is nation building, and I think it's ready for something on TV.
Yeah, Nasaranga, and definitely will be, you know, sharing this video with some of our TV friends and you know, companies who I'm sure can follow up with you, because definitely, you know, they are wonderful stories, you know, to share. Now you showed some videos with me and some photos. We can watch it after this, but let's go back to Marie. Marie, what is your vision, or what are your thoughts in terms of more of how first of all, how's your book club going?
I have to say it's going on well. It's well. Yeah, like I've been just going through the book where I actually record students coming in to take out books. And in a day I'd have say 12 students would come. Some days I have 10, some days I have 20, depending on the day, you know. Yesterday I had 3 that came in because there was a function here in the village, so 3. And you know, that it goes to show that the children are reading. So what I do is that I don't have a shelf. Fiona has seen it, so I'm using a sideboard, an old sideboard, and I stack the book. So I'm glad that we know when I spoke. It's amazing how when you speak and then the inspiration comes in my meeting with Fiona. So when she went back, I said, oh, I'm going to do this. So I have a shelf for return books, for return books, and then I put a paper there that shows, do not touch, these are return books. And then I have a shelf for do not touch, they are torn books. So when children come, they come first, and then I go through their book, the book, and then I go through the list that I have and tick their names, and then they look for the book. So for kindergarten children, I help them to choose their book. And then I have, this last week, I decided to do a reading assessment. So I did a reading assessment on Tale. Fiona, I think you remember Tale. You went to interview the grandmother, Iti, my neighbor. And she's in class 4. She's now reading those mini novels for children in class 6. She read a small, short novel to me. You know, I was really impressed. Her sister lives in Australia with her mom, and she's now conversing in English with her sister in Australia. Yeah, she's a consistent reader also. So, you know, when we started, she couldn't barely read. And now that's where she is. And because it's also followed through in school, I get feedback from the teachers in school, like they can see that, you know, there's something going on in the village. Yeah, so I have to honestly, like, I'd like to go back again to what I said to you earlier, that the quality is, for me, is what I'm after. Yeah, and the fact that, you know, to see, to watch them come, and then, you know, they'll come and say, oh, you know, I want to read the book that you took the last time because I heard it's a good book. So they swap. Yeah, that's what they'll do. And, you know, just to see them sitting down and talking amongst themselves, sharing about the story they read, you know, like that, to me, that's pretty good. That's encouraging, you know, encouraging to know that they appreciate the books. And I'm sure some of the mothers will be happy that they've, you know, slowly moving away from the phones.
Very good.
It's positive. It's positive.
It's positive. Yeah. Man. Man, Marie.
One of my future dreams for this community library is actually to set up a community resource center here in this village. That is the vision. That's what I see in the future, because again, as I said, geographically we're quite spread out, and in terms of a resource center where it caters for things like photocopying, birth certificates, and all that, people have to go all the way to Suva. So, like with that resource center, it should have a library, a classroom to cater for teachers doing afternoon classes. And by the way, with afternoon classes, we have started the afternoon classes here. So I take some of the students here, and I have 2 secondary school teachers, masters, who take students from the upper secondary level. We have already started. Yeah. So that's the dream, that there will be a resource center here in this village. And I've shared my vision with the Turani Koro, and I've actually given him the plan of what I feel it would look like. So it's there in their hands, you know, like it's already given. He knows.
And so that's and Marie, you are in Vunindau, right?
Yes, I am.
So that's the village you are located, eh? Vunindau.
No, I'm staying in Nauluwai.
Oh, in Nauluwai, okay.
It's close to Vunindau. It's just a few minutes drive. But I teach in Vunindau, not Vunindau.
Okay. Oh, totoko saranga. Yeah, very good. I'm so glad you have this vision, and our Talanoa will be shared with our fellow brothers and sisters from Nauluwai, who may be listening in as well. This can inspire them, and particularly for, you know, our Tikina council meetings, our provincial council meetings that happens. These are some of the topics that can be taken up, you know, for under education and community development. Because I think what you and Fiona are sharing comes under that umbrella, community development.
Exactly.
Wow. Yes, Vinaka vakalevu. Now, what I will do, if that's okay with you, Fiona and Marie, I will share some of the videos. Is that okay? so that
that's fine.
our viewers can be able to see some of the interviews and some of the views of Netasiri that you shared. Is that okay? All right.
Yes.
Okay, Vinaka vakalevu. So to those of you listening in, Vinaka vakalevu, Pule Vinaka Dr. Elis Hafa, thank you for joining in. Lili Suka, Tupo Chiu, Peter Wangawai, Wenikiti Nadangilevu, and Chone Neibalu. Wow, big group watching live, and they really enjoying this Talanoa session. And maybe for those of you who are listening in, if you are from overseas traveling to Fiji, you can maybe take some books with you in your travel. Also, those of you in Fiji who may have extra books in your homes, please contact Fiona Marie or Lavenia, and we can, rendezvous somewhere and see how we can distribute some of these books and resources. Because I know so many of you want to donate, because it's really important that we can share. Oh, Vinaka vakalevu. Elise Hafa Marie, if you can contact Elise, I will connect you via social media messenger. She wants to donate to your book club. Yay!
Thank you, Dr. P. Vinaka vakalevu.
This is great, Vinaka. So for those of you who are listening in, we're going to show you some amazing videos and interviews, some short videos and interviews that Fiona and the team recorded in Netasiri. You will enjoy this. So I will share. This is a video of this young girl. Shall we start off with the horse ride, or we just go with the interviews as we see them, Fiona?
I just go with as you see them.
Okay, set. All right, so let's do this. Man, and thank you for doing all these videos. So, really puts life to, the Talanoa, and for us to see the real issues, on the ground. So let's talk to this beautiful girl. Okay, let me see. Oh, it's
12 years old and I attend in Rara District School.
Okay, I will start again because I will had it on mute.
Hello, my name is Margaret and I'm 12 years old and I attend in Rara District School. I like coming to Auntie Marie because reading is really my hobby and I really like reading. It changed my marks and I'm becoming good in English. And I like reading because it helps me a lot and change my language and shows me a lot of new things and tells me that there's lots of new things at the world and I could learn more things by reading, not just seeing the pictures. That's why I like reading. I like to use my time at school. If I don't have anything, I'll just sit down, I'll ask for a book so I could read. And it changed my marks in English and letter writing. I'm good at letter writing and I really like my favorite subject in school is English, and that's why I like reading books in Auntie Marie's.
Wow, Auntie Marie, what would you like to say to that beautiful story from that young girl? Who is she? Tell us a little bit, Marie.
That's Margaret, and she's in class 7 at Rara District School. She's one reader that a very consistent reader. When she comes here, she not only takes storybooks of her level, she also goes into, we have a section here, a research section, that's got a lot of books about animals, on the weather, climate, plants, and all. So she normally comes and goes through that section. She has, I think, I have, whenever I see her, I know that she likes to read, and she's very passionate about it. Yeah, that's Margaret.
That's Margaret. So that's from Rara District School, eh?
Right, Rara District School.
Yes, man, to talk wakawati. So I've got this, man, look at that's a direct impact on the reading itself. So this, I've got a teacher here with a nice bula shirt. So let me share it. Yeah, thank you so much, Fiona, for these short videos. They're so impactful. So let's watch.
My name is Eli Sambai. I'm a head of school here in Nasauvere Primary School. In order to get the books from Book Drive, these are the books from Book Drive. We have to pack it in garbage, in a plastic bag and put it in the shelf in order to be on the horse bag. So this is how we pack the library books and set it in the horse bag, like this. One side here, and the other side this side.
Wow. Nice, eh? Fiona, would you like to share a little bit about the horse and the books packed in the bags?
I mean, Teresi, that just blows my mind. First of all, like for anything to arrive to that village, it's such an effort putting it on the horse. But, you know, and I have traveled extensively around Fiji, but that was mind-blowing how the books traveled by horse. But also what blew my mind was that the villagers all got together and built the library building as well. It was just remarkable. And I was so pleased and proud when I pulled out the library books. And this will only mean anything to our Melbourne viewers. But when I pulled out one, it said Haileybury College, Brighton, which is a well-known school in Melbourne. Another one, Gisborne Primary School. And I was just so pleased and proud to see the quality of the books. That school had a librarian, which is often not the case. And it was just totally heartwarming.
Yes, man, you know, and for us to see the video and hear their stories, you know, it's gonna be so impactful. So I've got another one here. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for staying on and watching the amazing work done by the team, Fiona Luth, Lavenia, Api, and Marie Hilda. So this is another teacher.
I am Elisa Sotura, the head teacher of Nasauvere Vakalevu Primary School. This school do not have library books since it was established in 1975 until in 2022 when the Fiji Book Drive donated some library books for the students of Nasauvere Vakalevu Primary School, which really helped them in the literacy level to improve their readings, especially in English. Thank you.
Yes, wow. You can see that the head teacher has shown, yeah, the impact on the results of the students. Wow. That's from Nakurukuru Bakatini village school, eh? Yes,
that's right.
Wow. And that was your donation in 2022, Fiona?
I think actually they got those library books last year, but Lavenia surveyed the school in 2022.
Right.
But what was interesting about that classroom where the head teacher is, we never normally post pictures of schools in very bad condition or anything like that. It doesn't send a good message to our donors. Like the story we tell on social media is an uplifting story. Right. And a story of positive impact. I don't want to show like classrooms in poor condition, but on this one occasion, I did post this classroom. Yeah. And it was in very, very poor condition. Yes. I would give the classroom a 2 out of 10. The Fiji Water Foundation gave them 2,000 Fiji and they put carpet down and had bookshelves. Then they got library books from us, and I would say that classroom went from a 2 out of 10 to a very simple but nice 7 out of 10 in 1 year.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the difficulties we face at that school, so that school had never had library books. So even, you know, Fijian teachers, of course, know how to do their job, but we really encourage them to loan them out the books more. So most of the students at that school are boarders, but they do cross the river to get home on the weekend. So the school's reluctant to loan them the books in case they get wet. And I said, just loan them out. And, we'll, you know, obviously we don't want all the books falling in the river. Yeah. But if you get wet, we'll give you some more. Just let them take them home. The books need to whakataka.
Dear Nasaranga, absolutely. Now, who is this the new library that was built?
Yes, so that's at Nasauvere with the interview with the teacher and showing how they get there by horse. So that's, you can see it's a very simple setup on a table, but it's good. It's good enough. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, it's a start. And this is wonderful.
It's a start. And, you know, the schools don't need a complicated system or whatever. They just need the books in the hands of the children.
Diana Todoko. Wow, this is really, really impressive. Thank you so much to all the villagers that helped build the library. Which village was it again? Is it Nasauvere?
Correct.
Right. Yeah, to all the villagers of Nasauvere, some of you may be listening in. If you have a friend who's from Nasauvere, you can take them this video and just thank them for the help to build the new library. This is a good start, and we can encourage others around Fiji. If they don't have a library, we can do it. If Nasauvere can do it, you can do it. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I think the initiative shown by these villages is actually due to their remote location. So over time, they've become very self-sufficient. Yeah. And that's actually to their advantage, because often I see in Fiji and they say, oh, we don't have a library building. And so I say, well, you know, you can do classroom libraries, or you can build the library building themselves. So that cost that village 3,000 Fijian. All the corrugated iron and the nails came by horse. So someone had to catch the bus overnight to Suva to buy that, then roll it up and put it in the horse. Then everyone gave up 2 or 3 days of their time to build it. So I think, you know, a lot of us can learn from that lesson of self-sufficiency.
Absolutely. That nothing is impossible. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you can, you know, make it happen, you can. So this is a video of Fiona. Let's just listen to her share a few words when she's up there in is this a Waindina River or Wainimala? Wainimala River. Okay, so this is her standing next to the Wainimala River.
Hello everybody, about to cross the Wainimala River in Natasiri. I think this is river crossing 1 of maybe 30 or 40 today to get to a very remote school. Just walked up a super steep muddy track and down again, and river crossing number 1. Hello everybody, about to cross the Wainimala River in Natasiri. I think this is river crossing 1 of maybe 30 or 40 today to get to a very remote school. Just walked up a super steep muddy track and down again, and river crossing number 1.
Wow, river crossing number 1. How many did you do that day, Fiona?
I think it was about, 26. It's 26 one way, and I think it's 26. No, and it's more on the way back. I actually lost count, but it was a lot of river crossings. That's actually why I rode the horse on the way back, because I was actually getting tired of crossing the river.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Right there, you can see Teresa in that video, so it's not very ladylike, but I'm sweating a lot. And that's because I walked up the very, very steep muddy track and down the muddy track to get to the river.
Man, that's a wonderful example you have shown to us. So many feedback coming through. There's also a nurse who was a nurse in Nasauvere many years ago, just saying hello to us now. So let's share this video of another student. This might be another of your student, Marie. Oh, hold on.
I live in Nauluwai.
Okay, one more.
My name is Mandima Medina. I live in Nauluwai. I'm 13 years old. I just want to ask you, I just want to give a message to you, is that English is so important in our lives. It's compulsory, and it travels a world in mind, and it helps me English. I read this book, and it's another one. There's another one. It's fat. It's just thick book.
That's
I read
impressive.
it. I think it's give me knowledge, and I think it helps me English lessons. And I know some of the children there must be working hard to know English, and must have been reading it I know Fijians are so smart people. I think thank you, Vinaka, and say and be proud of yourself.
Yay! That is amazing. Marie, what would you like to say about her?
Okay, this is Melanie, and she's a class 8 student at Bunindao Sanatan School where I teach.
Yeah.
She's a very outspoken girl, a student, and she loves to read. She's a very smart reader. I've watched her come how many times to read. She doesn't just take books anyhow. Like, first of all, she'd read the content of the story, and then she'll go to the prefix and have a look through it. And if it interests her, then she'll take the book. So she's one of them who always, she challenges herself all the time when she comes. So her level of books, like it's, you know, like it moves on. It doesn't just stay in one particular area. That's what she does all the time. So I think that's how she manages to improve herself in terms of her work. And English is one of her strengths in school. Melanie.
Man, sarong pinakalaman pa sa papalang. So beautiful. I just love her expression, and I love the comment when she said Fijians are very smart people. What do you think, Fiona?
You know what? I absolutely loved it when she said Fijians are so smart people. I love that because often going around Fiji, sometimes Fijians, they don't talk about themselves like that.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. And to see her have that she is a future leader in Fiji, by the way. And to see that self-confidence, and then she said, "Bula Vinaka," and be proud of yourself. It's fantastic.
Oh, that is just amazing.
Yes, Dr.
Yeah,
Teresa,
Marie, yeah.
Her dream is to become a lawyer. She's always mentioned that.
She will be an amazing lawyer. Watch this space.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe definitely. She can be the Fiji Book Drive lawyer.
Oh my goodness. And I have another one of our young girl who spoke earlier. I think I've got another video. Was it the same video, Fiona, or is it a different one?
If it's of Margaret, that might be the same video. I might have sent that twice by accident.
Okay, maybe let's watch one more time, because it's just so inspiring, you know, for these two young girls from Naitasiri sharing and speaking in English so confidently because of the impact of reading.
Hello, my name is Margaret and I'm 12 years old and I attend in Rara District School. I like coming to Auntie Marie because reading is really my hobby and I really like reading. It changed my marks and I'm becoming good in English. And I like reading because it helps me a lot and change my language and shows me a lot of new things and tells me that there's lots of new things at the world and I could learn more things by reading, not just seeing the pictures. That's why I like reading. I like to use my time at school. If I don't have anything, I'll just sit down, I'll ask for a book so I could read. And it changed my marks in English and letter writing. I'm good at letter writing and I really like, my favorite subject in school is English and that's why I like reading books in Auntie Marie's.
Auntie Marie? Wow. So Auntie Marie, your book club is going to be one of the top clubs in the future. And we've got some viewers who are ready to support you. What would you like to say to them, Marie?
I would first of all like to say, I'm going to actually keep saying thank you to the Fiji Book Club. Thank you to Fiona and your team, and also to you, Dr. T, for that, the simple message I just passed across, and through the connection, I'm able to build this little community library. And I'm happy that I'm seeing slowly fruits of children who have that interest. But more so for me is to see that they respect the books that they are reading and that they appreciate books. So to anyone out there, you know, with that same passion, we can actually uplift the literacy in our country, literacy in Fiji, and we can, we'll have a lot of A pluses. We'll have a lot of students aiming high because of reading, and that's what I'd like to, and to continue. Parents out there, please support your children. You know, spend time with them. I know there's a lot of functions going on and all that, but at least if you can listen, sit and take the time to listen to your child, read a story and follow up with them, you know, that's, rest assured that your child will definitely go far. Thank you.
Vinaka Marie, you're absolutely right. Parental support is really important. Even for me personally, my parents were really a huge support for us for reading, especially my mother. My mother was always there with us, you know, physically. While, you know, sometimes I remember her holding the book, you know, while we are there and we're reading along with her, you know, and it makes a huge impact. You know, you can see that your mother or your father has so much personal interest in you, you know, and so the result down the line is actually going back to those moments. Those moments. Now I'm reflecting on what I actually went through too when I was little, because I used to love reading when I was young. So again, it comes back from home. Vinaka Marie, and your role as a teacher, just for being out there and wanting to do something and make a difference. Fiona, we'll give you back the time now to, if you want to say a few more words of thank you or encouragement or a shout out to those of your volunteers out there in Australia too, for the amazing support they've given to Fiji Book Drive.
Vinaka, Dr. T, and thank you for letting us have this platform. I definitely would like to acknowledge all the people that donate books to Fiji Book Drive, which are many independent schools in Victoria, many Catholic schools, many primary schools. People take the time to sort through their books and drop them off. I'd like to give a shout out to Nadika Garba, who gives us use of the warehouse for free, which is lovely. All the volunteers that come and pack for us. Every year there's more than 180 people that come and sort and pack books. It's hard work. It's heavy work. My board members are amazing. They're incredible. You know, there's probably more than 500 people helping, actually, volunteers, where they're dropping off books, sorting through library books, where they're sorting and packing. And of course, I'd very much like to thank all the people that donated to our end of financial year campaign, which ended yesterday. But of course, we can take donations at any time of the year. But we can expand and help more children in Fiji, basically with more money in the bank account. As you can tell, viewers, I'm very passionate about this work, but there are others too that help me. So there is an army of people behind this organisation helping me do the work. And I'd like to reiterate what Mari said. Parental support with the reading and community support is absolutely critical, and critical in nation building. Please support your children in their reading. Vinaka.
Vinaka vakalevu. Thank you so much, Fiona. Vinaka vakalevu Marie, for both of you for being here, and Tula and Api. It's been an awesome hour or so of Talanoa and sharing, and so many of our listeners have so moved by this. So Marie, even Dr. Elise Hafa, has indicated she's willing to contribute to your informal book club, and that's just moving. So Marie, any last comments?
No, I just want to thank. I keep saying thank you to the Fiji Book Club Drive, Fiona and your team. I wish you all the best in your work. I wish all the students out there in their studies, and I look forward to where our projects will head off to. Thank you. Vinaka, Dr. T.
So, nakavalevu Foexia, nakavalevu Sarah Marie for your vision and your drive and your passion. And all the best to the girls. I think to Margaret and who is our other little girl?
Melanie.
Melanie, yeah, all the very best to both of them. And we hope that we can meet them one day when I come over to Fiji to have the opportunity to share some time and be there with them. That'll be really wonderful. Fiona, any last comments?
Not really, Teresa. I mean, I think I've said it all. I'm just very grateful to Marie for the work that she's doing, but also to her village. The community were very supportive. I mean, honestly, I walked away from Nauluwai village thinking, what an incredible village. So well organized, incredible hospitality, and a lot of interest in what we were doing. So, and overall, like Natasiri, like I just thought, what an amazing province in Fiji, incredible people. I hope to go back there in October, actually. Yeah, I can't wait to help Natasiri more and other areas of Fiji. Vinaka.
So Vinaka, Fiona, on behalf of everyone who are listening to this live and those who will join us later on, we would like to say Vinaka vakalevu to you and your beautiful family. And I'm sure your dear husband and children are amazing support for you. They support your vision. And also for your amazing volunteers, your board members, all the schools in Melbourne and all the financial contributors from all of us in Fiji. Vinaka vakalevu, and you both have a wonderful day and evening, and I will contact you again in the near future for any more updates.
Vinaka.
Yes, Mother Fiona, Mother Marie, Naka.
Mother.
Yes, thank you so much to our dear listeners. We've just had a wonderful opportunity talking to the director and the leader of the Fiji Book Drive and creator of this wonderful initiative, Fiona Luth, who's connecting in from Melbourne, and also the school teacher at Wunindawa, Sanatan, Marie Hilda, who's here helping us to put into context this wonderful initiative of encouraging our children to read. And they can not only read if there's no resources there for them. So in the last 2-3 weeks, they were in the province of Nasauvere. So we're really, really thankful that they're here to share their adventures, the videos, their adventures, especially for Fiona riding the horse to go over. And that just shows how many times she has to cross the Wainimala River. Eh? So a lot of effort on their part, and it's just so incredible for her dedication. And we just want to wish her all the very best in all she's going to be doing in the remaining part of the year and the years to come. Vinaka vakalevu sir, everybody, for listening in, and I really appreciate all of you. Vinaka vakalevu, and saying goodbye from Hawaii. Nisa Mademanda. Naka. Wade.